Look at this fake snow, you guys. Do you think if I ate this I would die? I don't know. It's like, it's so obviously fake. I haven't sat in this car. It feels like I haven't sat in this car in like 3 years. Because I was out of work. We didn't have work. Let's see if the car still runs. Okay. I'm gonna wait for it to warm up though. Yeah, I have a confession to make. It's not really that much of a confession because I feel like you guys probably could have gathered that I was going this route. I did mushrooms yesterday, and the reason why I did that is because I've been so frazzled for the past several months. And I've been frazzled for a number of reasons. I've been frazzled because of my own bullshit in my head. I've been frazzled because of my hormones. And I'm frazzled because of the state of the world. Now, this friend of mine at church brought it to my attention that, yeah, the world's not going to get any better, so there's really no point in fretting about that. And he's absolutely right. So I've been right about a lot of things that are wrong with the world. And I think a huge part of this channel, one of the main focuses of it, is, bitching about the way that things are, and just how weak-minded everyone seems to be. So 93%. It's still pretty good. But yeah, I'm really lucky because I kind of flew above the radar, you know, just avoiding smartphone technology. And there's just a lot of stuff that I don't bother myself with because I know that it's crap. I know that I'm being lied to all the time. But that doesn't mean that I still don't feel the tension from everybody else that's living in this world that believes the bullshit. I know that I'm crazy, but at least it's my crazy. I'm not crazy because the world is hijacking my emotions and bullying me into submission, you know? Like, I mean, in certain ways, like, yes, I'm still part of the world, unfortunately, you know, like, I'm still working a job, I'm still, like, a wagey and all that, but I would say that I make pretty ample use of my time, you know, making the art that I make, even if it's not very good, it still gives me a sense of fulfillment that a lot of people don't seem to have right now. And what's interesting is that right around the time that all this shit started to amp up, that's when I really started to amp up my creativity. So I really am, going in the opposite direction of society. So the whole reason I started doing this channel was because I saw this pressing need for an alternative approach to the mental illness problem. Okay? It doesn't have to be a problem. It doesn't have to be a problem. But if you don't know what you're dealing with and why you're dealing with it, it is a problem. And they have successfully misled my entire country. And if you live in the UK, if you live in Australia or Canada, I'm sure they've misled y'all too. All of us lucky Westernites, they have misled us into believing that all of these issues that we have with just existing, Just existing is hard. Just being alive is really difficult sometimes. And this thought occurred to me yesterday when I was on the shroom. But it occurred to me, it occurred to me that the reason why addictions exist, the reason why television is so addictive, and also the reason why they poison the water supply. It's because everybody is so bored. Okay? Everybody is so bored. Even the elite. The elites are so fucking bored. So, I would say the reason why they do everything that they do that's fucked up, it's because they just want to see what happens. Now you could say that that's ominous. It is. It's pretty evil. But at the same time, it's like, there have always been experiments performed on people. I think what they're trying to prove is that so many people don't seem to mind. And they're not aware of those experiments. And they can just turn a blind eye to them. And so I think that's really more of what they're trying to prove than anything else. That what makes a person evil isn't necessarily the desire to hurt other people. It's the fact that we ignore evil and we make excuses for it. At the same time, I don't want to focus on it because I feel like focusing on it you're doing what the devil wants. And you're giving it all this attention. And so then that's all the people see. And then they despair over it, you know? So it's actually not that good of a thing for a lot of these people to know, you know, how bad the world is and the experiments that are being performed and all that shit. You know, it's better for them that they don't know, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to handle the information, you know? So it really is like a quadruple-edged sword. But when I had this realization, it just gave me a lot of clarity, like, that there's nothing to fight. There's nothing to fight. Like, I can make decisions in my own personal life that reflect my morals, and, you know, I'm not going to go along with stuff that I disagree with if I can avoid it. But at the same time, like, I can't control the direction that this world's going, because there are too many people in the world that are just not conscious, and they don't want to be conscious. And, you know, I can say that raising the consciousness, like, that's my job or whatever the fuck, but it's like, I think that my job is just to be who I am. I think that my job is just to be the best example of the things that I know to be true, that are good, and to be that light that so few people believe in. Well, they believe in a false light, you know? It makes sense why everybody's equilibrium is all kinds of fucked up, because of that blue light, you know? So they got all these modern people to rely on things that aren't reliable. And we depend on those things. Even though if we depended on God, we would know what to do in any situation, because we'd be trusting that spirit. And yeah, I can't really explain that to people that don't believe in that sort of thing. Like, they just don't understand, because they look at everything like it has to be tangible. But I don't know. When I chant, I feel better. Like, when I sing to God, I know that I'm in a more positive headspace. And I can't deny that that's what's happening. I can be skeptical about it. But that's silly, because I'm just denying myself the chance to be happier, or the chance to be more content and at peace. I think that's what I want more than anything. I think that people shouldn't strive to be happy. They should strive to be peaceful. Because happiness is a fleeting emotion. Sadness sticks around because it's negative. It's a lot easier to hang on to it. That's why breakup songs are a lot better than love songs. Because they're more believable. But anyway, trying to think of what other amazing realizations I had yesterday. it was basically like more of the same. Like, I just have to endure these cycles that are really dark sometimes. And I'm better for it when I do. But that doesn't mean that I enjoy it. That doesn't mean that I look forward to it. I know that I talk a big talk on this channel about, you know, facing problems and dealing with things head on. And I think that I do. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to tell you that I like it. You know? Like, there's a significant reason why I've always been interested in altered states of mind. But I do believe that just having the sort of perspective that I do is definitely like somewhat of an altered state, you know, compared to the state that everybody else seems to be in. A lot of people think I'm on drugs when I'm not. So I haven't done any like major psychedelic in like over 10 years because like I'm a walking psychedelic. So I really don't need that. But sometimes I get stuck in my own loop. I'm sure you've noticed that. But I didn't have a bad trip though, that's the thing. I prayed before I did it. I mean, half of it I was crying. It was like, I got super emotional. Thinking about people in my life that I don't talk to anymore. And it's crazy, like, it's crazy that their memory is still really firm in my mind. And I don't know if they ever think about me. I'm sure they do from time to time, but they're probably like, fuck that bitch, you know? But I don't know. I don't want to talk to people on Instagram. I don't want to like reconnect with people through fucking Facebook or whatever. I'm the type of person that, like, if you're in my life, I feel like you're supposed to be in my life. There's certain people that I feel connected to, and I know that if I don't talk to them or see them for a while, like, we'll pick up right where we left off, like the next time that we meet up again. You know, I have the faith in our friendship. I have the faith in our connection that will happen. And so the people in my life that I don't associate with anymore, it's like, well, we weren't supposed to keep associating. That's the way that I look at it. Either because of, you know, our disconnect. I would say that, yes, some people, they come into your life and they're there for a particular time period and then they're gone, you know, and it's like we can analyze that. We can deep dive into, like, you know, why certain people show up when they show up. And, you know, I've thought about this a lot because I've definitely benefited from these people. You know, there are things that they taught me, there are things that they gave to me, but they're not in my life anymore. And, you know, old Amy, the person I used to be, would feel guilty about that sort of thing and think that there's something wrong with me because, like, that person's not my life anymore. But Holy Spirit enthused Amy is okay with it, because I understand that, like, there's a time and a place for everything. I don't know. I was reflecting on, like, old breakups. You know, I think it's a lot easier for women to move on than men. You know, I was talking to this friend of mine last night. He thinks that men are the true empaths. I actually really agree with that. Considering, like, all the shit that men put up with from women, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hold on 1 second. I gotta chug this coffee so it doesn't spill all over me. He said that men are, like, always making excuses for women. It's so true. I mean, I think that, you know, both men and women can have varied traits of masculinity and femininity. There are women that I meet that are super feminine, and there are men that I meet that are super masculine. But I would say that with this culture that we have, people are so out of touch with what it means to truly be a man or what it truly means to be a woman, that, like, I think that androgyny, like people such as myself that consider ourselves gender clear, we could save the damn world. And I'm so convinced of this now. Like, because I just think that I sound so grandiose, don't I? I'm gonna save the world! I did say that in my recent comedy routine. I was talking about how I want to save the world. Well, that's why I started doing comedy. I don't know if I can save it, but I can try. I'll do what I can. But yeah, I would say that it's more the androgynous person that is the outsider that doesn't fit the mold of, you know, a particular stereotype. That person is going to be able to see things a lot more clearly than people that fit into this little box, you know? And for a long time, it really bothered me that I didn't fit into that box, like being a woman. And, being born a woman, it bothered me that I wasn't more feminine. And I guess, like, you know, getting older, just knowing that I'm not going to breastfeed and knowing that I'm not going to watch my kids grow up and all that shit. Like, I am hyper conscious of that reality. Look at that shit, babies. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Even though it's fake, we're still going to appreciate it. We can still appreciate the fake snow. No, it actually looks like artificial snow that they sell at fucking Michael's. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, I really ought to, you know, try harder to do this thing that I'm doing, this thing that I've been doing. intense. And I understand why. Y'all motherfuckers chose technology that is destroying you. It's destroying your psyche. And you feel like you have no other option but to, you know, do whatever you're told to do. And I feel for that. I do. So, I'm gonna try to get you out of it. How about that? I'm gonna try to get you out of it. Am I being too grandiose thinking that I can do that? Well, because, like, in a lot of ways, I have a very, like, masculine approach to things. And so I think that the masculine approach is what's needed. What's that? Did you hear that? Was that me? Was that me or was it the car behind me? Did you hear that? It was like this. I think it was the car behind me. I really hope it was. I think that what we've seen with feminism, like how feminism has just hijacked the female brain and it's just turned it into a bunch of fucking swill. I mean, it's done the same thing with men and their fucking ball sacks. So, you know, if gender's out and all the people having kids are like so addicted to their phones, it's not even funny. Not all of them. Not all of them. There are some people out there that are still parenting, but most of them don't believe in parenting, and I think that that's always been the case. It's not just the case now. It's like the phones and social media have proven what has always been the truth about the world that we live in. The world that we live in is inherently very stupid, and the majority of people are very gullible and do not have one iota of virtue about them. And so, as a person that has both masculine and feminine traits, I feel like I can fix it. And I'm crazy enough to really believe that. I'm delusional, right? I'm delusional. I don't think the delusion is such a bad thing if you're able to, like, accomplish goals that way, you know? I mean, sometimes you gotta forget the world that you live in. Like, in order to change the world that you actually live in, you have to temporarily forget it so you can recreate it. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me.